The Executive Director of African Polling Institute, Professor Ben Ihua, and other resource persons who took journalists on a variety of topics on why the onions lie on their table to promote social cohesion in the society, said indeed the neglect of citizens by the government has weakened the fabric of social cohesion, and this requires newsroom response to close the gap created by this neglect.
So we talk about trust. Then we'll talk about social justice. How can we ensure that public goods goes to every citizen, in spite of religion, in spite of ethnicity, in spite of regionalism, in spite of where they come from? How can we ensure that every citizen has access to the benefits of government? Then we'll talk about civic participation. How can we ensure that every citizen goes out there to participate in their civic duties?
And journalists is that you should focus on the human being. When you try and speak to human beings more and take their perspectives, your story gets a balance. Your story gets it improves social cohesion, because often what I see about our practice as journalists is that we're relying so much on either releases, or we're relying on just the perspectives of government. But bring that perspective to hear from the people, and you are going to see a completely new story entirely.
Journalists or the resource persons say must therefore be ready to change the narrative by fact-checking before they write, so they can gain public trust, which the Institute noted reflects citizens' willingness to work together for the development and prosperity of the country.
We need to avoid stereotypes as much as possible. We need to avoid situations where we assume that certain groups of people, certain characters are the ones responsible for certain ills in the society, and therefore anytime that any such thing comes up, it's easy for us to point accusing fingers, even when others might be mimicking that particular ethnic group. So we have situations where we'll talk about Fulani headsmen. We will talk easily about people we call the unknown gunmen. We have created all kinds of titles and labels, which is sometimes unverified.
Some certain things we take for granted, and then living here, you go back and you actually recognize that you have a fundamental role in making sure that those national objectives that we talk about in our constitution, that you actually have a role to making sure that it's not only the government that the national objectives are meant for, to make sure that they achieve it. The media has, a frontal role in achieving those national objectives.
The two-day workshop was organized to equip media practitioners as champions of social cohesion towards the promotion of responsible journalism. Abdul Yusuf, Liberty News.